Monday, NASA's Ingenuity Mars Helicopter became the first aircraft in history to make a powered controlled flight on another planet. The Ingenuity team at the agency's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California confirmed the flight succeeded after receiving data from the helicopter via NASA's Perseverance Mars rover. For those who don't know, Ingenuity is a small robotic helicopter operating on Mars as part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission, besides with the rover Perseverance. Altimeter data indicate Ingenuity climbed to its prescribed maximum altitude of 10 feet and maintained a stable hover for 30 seconds. It then descended, touching back down on the surface of Mars after logging a total of 13.1 seconds of flight. The red planet has a significantly low gravity, one-third that of Earth's, and an extremely thin atmosphere with only 1% the pressure at the surface compared to our planet Earth. The Chernobyl disaster was a nuclear accident that occurred on Saturday, 26 April 1986 at the number 4 reactor in Chernobyl nuclear power plant near the city of Pripyat in the north of Ukrainian SSR. The Chernobyl accident exposed millions of people in the surrounding region to radioactive contaminants. Researchers utilized genomic tools to investigate potential health effects of exposure to ionizing radiation, a known carcinogen, as a result of the 1986 Chernobyl accident. One study found no evidence that genetic changes associated with radiation exposure are passed to children, while the second study documented the genetic changes in the tumors of people who developed thyroid cancer after being exposed as children or fetuses to the radiation released by the accident. Findings are being published close to the 35th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster. Corals and sponges are important foundations in ocean ecosystems, providing structure and habitats that shelter a high number of species like fish, crabs, and other creatures, particularly in the seamounts and canyons of the deep sea. Researchers at the University of New Hampshire have discovered that when it comes to climate change, not all deep sea corals and sponges are affected the same, and some could be threatened if average ocean temperatures continue to increase in the deep sea of the northwest Atlantic. Changes in temperature and dissolved oxygen that go beyond what the deep sea corals and sponges are used to could stress the species physiology, affecting growth, tissue loss, and reproduction. Each year, the world wastes about 1/6 of the food available to consumers. That's the finding of a new United Nations report. It crunched numbers for 2019, the most recent year for which data are available. The report now estimates global food losses at about 931 million metric tons. That's an average of 121 kilograms for each man, woman, and child on Earth. Some 690 million people go hungry each year. More than 3 billion people can't afford a healthy diet. At the same time, the activities that had produced all of the lost and wasted food spewed 8 to 10% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. Reducing food waste could ease hunger and potentially lower that pollution. Perhaps the most frustrating limitation of owning an electric car is how long it takes to fully charge the battery. For a Tesla, for example, it takes about 40 minutes to charge it to 80% capacity using the most powerful charging station. Scientists have long thought the laws of physics limited how fast you could safely recharge a battery, but new research by University of Utah chemical engineering assistant Professor Gustavo has opened the door to creating a battery that can be recharged in just a fraction of the time. Gustavo believes that with this fresh understanding, new technologies could create a car battery that could be fully recharged 5 times faster than normal, or in just over 10 minutes, without the risk of a hazard or degrading too quickly, he says. Smartphones, which typically take more than a half an hour with the fastest charger, could also be fully charged in just 10 minutes, he says.